We're here at Research Showcase at Case Western Reserve University, and it is my pleasure to introduce someone who is attending the showcase and who is an employee at Case Western Reserve University, and she has a very interesting background that has to do with regionally speaking and the Social Justice Alliance Institute and its goals. Chalana, Gilliham.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, you are from East Cleveland, and that's the focus of the Social Justice Institute Alliance for this series of Regionally Speaking. Tell me what your life in East Cleveland has been about.
I'm fourth generation East Cleveland resident. Grew up there. My mother, all of her siblings grew up there, my grandmother as well. And they came to East Cleveland at a time before, when African Americans weren't even in East Cleveland actually, on their street. They were the first African Americans, and that was in the 1960s. And all of my family graduated from Shaw High School, and they're still there in East Cleveland at this time.
Chalana, tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up then in East Cleveland.
I actually went to elementary in East Cleveland to Christ the King, which is a Catholic school on Noble Road, which is no longer open, but I attended East Cleveland schools and just had a wonderful time. We lived off of Hayden on 3rd Avenue, and then ultimately moved to 6th Avenue. My grandmother actually still lives on 3rd Avenue to this day. And it was just a wonderful place, a small community, 3 miles of, so pretty much everybody knows somebody or knows somebody that knows of a friend or family. Definitely 2 degrees of separation of everybody in East Cleveland. So just a one big happy village actually at that time, being brought up that way.
And what were the kinds of changes that you experienced in over the period of time? And where were the changes? How were they manifest?
Sadly to say, it was actually a pretty quick decline. I would say beginning in the early 80s is when the big decline came, and just drugs came into the area and just devastated the area very quickly. East Cleveland is home to lots of apartment buildings, so there are plenty of homeowners, but lots of apartment dwellers, kind of transient population that came and went. And we saw the decline happen very quickly. Like I said, in the area off of Hayden, where lots of apartments are that are now mostly abandoned. Actually, whole streets have been demolished, so the streets are actually there, but there aren't any buildings or homes on those streets. So it has been, unfortunately, a decline that's happened very rapidly.
Very rapid. And how do you account for it?
Gladys, honestly, I don't know. I do know that East Cleveland does have a unique problem in its area, in that because it's such a small area, but there are lots of schools in the area, lots of elementary schools. There's 5 elementary schools in a 3-mile radius. And I know just from experiences of people, that neighbors and even some family members, that all of the drug crimes that are committed in East Cleveland, because they're within certain feet of a school, become felonies. So that's one of the things that I know that happened very quickly, that crimes that, small misdemeanor crimes actually became felonies for some people, and it broke up a lot of families. And I think just the family structure just kind of changed quite a bit in a short period of time.
How was it evident in the high school?
I think the high school has always been regarded as a very good high school, academically and musically. And I think that its reputation has sustained despite some of the decline in the city. They have one of the best culinary programs in Ohio right now, and there are plenty of students from other schools that actually attend their culinary program. The alumni at Shaw is a special kind of alumni that love their school, that come back year after year for all of their alumni functions. my family included. My mother is one of 8, and all of her siblings come every year for their annual picnic. They have a very strong alumni. They actually tore the original high school down a couple years ago and raised an amazing amount of money to rebuild a new school, which is state of the art, which is wonderful. And I did used to work for a program, Educational Talent Search here at CASE, much like Upward Bound program, but it was geared towards East Cleveland students, and we had about 400 students in the program actually, and just had some of the brightest students coming out of Shaw High School. The parents are very much engaged and participate in all of the activities, the football team. It's just a wonderful still community feeling there at Shaw High, and like I said, the alumni are second to none. Just a wonderful place.
Well, I grew up in Cleveland Heights. Cleveland Heights High School and Shaw High School always had a very, very tremendous rivalry. So I'm especially interested to know.
And it still exists.
And it still exists. It's true. Now you're at CASE, and you have a very important position in the provost's office. And how did that happen? What drew you to this place? And then I want to have you talk about what you're doing in terms of a continuing commitment to East Cleveland.
Well, I came to CASE actually as a temporary employee and fell in love with CASE and actually stayed on. I came working in the physics department and then actually went to go work for student affairs for Educational Talent Search. And after that program ended due to funding, I actually went to go work in the provost office, and there I had the pleasure of being the administrator for the CASE-FISC partnership, and also would work in the Department of Planning and Institutional Research, where the alliances are held under that umbrella, and the Social Justice Alliance is under that. So still am very active with Rhonda Williams and the Social Justice Institute. Actually, they are helping us with our FISC partnership in creating a think tank for race relations. And we're going to be doing some work in East Cleveland with that, and so I'm very excited about that.
So you're still remaining very active. Do you still reside in East Cleveland?
I no longer live in East Cleveland, but my family is still there. We still participate in many of the activities. We still attend the theater. The East Cleveland Theater was very much a part of my childhood. Yes. And our family still supports the theater all the time, and we still attend all the alumni events. I didn't go to Shaw, but I feel like I went to Shaw because all of my neighbors and my friends, that's where they went to school, so they have embraced me as an honorary member of their community. So yes, we're still very active in the community. My grandparents lived there, and my grandmother's always been very active politically and helping with the campaigns and all, so we're still pretty much very connected.
It's been wonderful talking with you. Your history about East Cleveland and your involvement. Thank you very, very much, Chalana.